are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You're
Meat
eating
in a can?
Spam?
Oh, I hate that.
Kids are just mopping it. Why would they do that?
I don't know.
If you're one of our closest friends, you will try it first.
Topic of the video, spam.
Yeah, not everything is going our way. It was really rough.
Sounds like a business.
San Diego people is like, I'm cold. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go
We're
out.
not.
I mean, this is like thousands of dollars you're dealing with.
What's up, everybody, out here at Rancho Penasquitos today at Calais Kitchenette. I know I said it wrong in the video, okay? Everyone's hounding me for that, but here with Khara, who's one of the owners of Calais Kitchenette. Khara, how are you today?
Not too bad. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you for joining me today. I know you have a busy
excited.
schedule. I know, I'm excited to have you on here.
Thank you. We got our caffeine
Caffeine
here.
ready for this. Thank you for the coffee. Yes.
Love it. Love it. Oh yeah, I think I have to sip on that one.
You had even more caffeine? Is that more coffee?
No, it's tea.
Oh, it's tea, but no caffeine in this tea.
No caffeine on this one.
Okay.
Maybe a little other stuff, but no.
Whoa, what are we drinking today, huh? Getting all crazy. So give us a little bit of background, like on you, on this. Let's start with you.
Okay.
How did you? What's your background? How'd you get into this and all this stuff?
Sure. So I've worked in the hotel industry.
Okay.
That's where me and Chef Andy met at the Manchester Grand Hyatt downtown in San Diego. That's where the love story all started.
Wow.
And but prior to that, I've always worked in the hotel, even though I did not had a bachelor's degree in hospitality. I think just personality-wise, it's just that's where I was flowing. And then when we had Kalei at that time.
So Calais is one of your daughters,
yes,
right?
she's our eldest, and we also have our youngest daughter, Kamea. And so my two girls, they both have Hawaiian names.
Yeah.
And so when Kalei was born, we decided, I think we need to recalibrate a little bit with our schedule because work has been very demanding already at that time. And so I actually left the hotel. However, I transferred into a digital marketing agency. We were still living up in the Bay Area back then in Santa Clara.
Okay.
And the company that I worked with is actually also specializing in hospitality. So it was almost very seamless for me. I just need to learn the tech stack.
Yeah.
But the product, dealing with our clients were actually hotel people, which are my old colleagues, funny enough. And so I just had to learn the technical skills, which was so interesting of how fast-paced everything was. And really all of those experiences, both the hospitality, the digital marketing background, I just applied it into the business, which we opened in 2018.
So take us back a little bit. So you and Chef Andy met at the hotel down here in San Diego, right? And then you guys both moved to Santa Clara?
Before that. So he had the opportunity to actually work, to move to Grand Hyatt Kauai. And so we lived there for a couple of years. That was pre-kids, pre-everything. We were living the life. It was really nice.
Okay.
I know that was also temporary. So it was really a career move. But a Maui boy, an island boy, already had the taste of the mainland, which is a lot more fast-paced.
Yeah.
He missed that, but he also know that he needs to take this career move for 2 years. I was milking it. I was like, let's not go. I love the island, and Kauai is a very special place for us. The people, the lifestyle was just a lot more peaceful. That was a time when I could say that there was really no stress in my life.
What did you do when you were over there?
I was one of the assistant front office manager.
Oh, okay, for
also at the hotel.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
It was a 52-acre hotel in Poipun, the south side of the island.
Yeah.
I remember back then, my days off, whenever he's working, I just literally pop my beach chair, just pull on the side, read a book. If I have a beer, it was literally the life. I don't have to pay any hotel fees or whatever because the beach is public.
Yeah.
And it was really beautiful. And then from there, after 2 years, then we had the opportunity to move to Santa Clara.
Okay.
And that time...
Why did you guys decide to make that move, though?
We have this, at that time, the mentality was if you want to grow, you gotta go. So we need more experience in our belt, and we know that we will eventually start a family. Although we were not married or engaged yet, but we knew that we were already.
You already had that talk.
Yeah, we knew already that it was us. No more. We see each other, growing and having a future together.
Okay.
And then we moved to Santa Clara, and then that time also was a great opportunity for him. They were still building the Levi Stadium at that time, because the hotel that he worked at is right beside the convention center as well as the Levi Stadium. And
who's in the Levi Stadium?
The 49ers.
Oh, it's called Levi Stadium? Duh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I just know the Niners.
I am not into football, but they're the, kind of like the Qualcomm before the Snapdragon.
The Snapdragon, all that stuff now. Okay,
they're the ones who have
SoFi
the big
Stadium.
bucks.
Yep. Okay, makes sense. So you guys went to Santa Clara because it was. I guess I was thinking Santa Clarita. That's why I was. Okay.
Yeah, Santa Clara, Silicon Valley, which was also confusing before because our address was Santa Clara, but we live in San Jose. I still need to get my geography brushed up.
That's why I was confused.
I need to refresh my memory on that one.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys were there for how long were you guys living there for?
I think it was 3 or was it 4 years? Because there were a lot of life-changing moments that happened there. We love the Bay Area. That's where we got married. Well, we got married during the time that we were living there, but we got married in Monterey, and then we gave birth to Kalei
in Monterey.
Up in Santa Clara also.
Okay.
And then it was a really great time. Not only again big career move for me that I left the hotel industry and moved to the digital marketing agency. And then that's when we're like, okay, I think we need to really figure out if we're staying here or moving back down to San Diego. And then, because most of my family are here in San Diego.
So I was going to ask,
And so...
How about Chef Andy? Is it mostly in...
In Maui. Okay. Everybody's in Maui. Majority are in Maui. Some here in California, Texas, but mainly in Maui. And so we're like... And then our idea was that we want the girls, our kids, to grow up with family, with cousins also.
Nice.
And we got a lot of cousins here in
bet.
Chula Vista.
I bet. But you guys are over here, and all of your family is in Chula Vista.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
need some distance. You
gotta stay close, but not too close.
Not like right across the street.
They're gonna be frenemies right away.
Right.
You don't want that. You want them to miss a little bit of each other, and then like let's have play dates. I miss them already. But yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so you guys moved back. So you were there for a little bit, then you moved back here to San Diego.
Yep.
And then I know you said you were doing, or Chef Andy was doing Qualcomm for catering already, right?
Yeah. So when he moved back down here, that was more of a family move already, not necessarily a career move. And so he left the hotel. Just at that time, there was no opportunity for him already. So he moved to actually a senior living area. It was a very new environment for him, different way of working. Now, these are long-term customers or clients. They don't leave. Unlike in the hotel, 7 days, check out, or one night, check out, bye. This is definitely different, and they have a lot of dietary restrictions and all that stuff. And then that's when, I think when he switched from that, that's when we also realized, I think we really wanted to pursue that dream of starting our own business. One of the biggest influence that we have in our lives back then was my mom. She is very entrepreneurial at heart.
Oh, really?
Both my parents, but she was the one who was in the food industry. She used to be a food caterer. My late mom passed away 2 years ago. Unfortunately, she didn't see this huge dream that we have.
So did she know that you guys were trying to do this?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
During the time that we were looking for a place, she was already, when we told her, and she was really excited, but that's also when her health was just taking a serious toll already. And so watching her, how she do the right thing and not so right thing, we're learning a lot watching her. We're going to save a lot of money because she had the experience already.
What did she do? Like what kind of
Filipino
business?
food.
Oh, okay. So she was selling it?
She was doing Filipino catering at that time, and then she was also doing the farmer's market.
Wow. What was the name of her thing?
Funny enough, it was Cabina's Cuisine.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, she was the one who started that, named
Oh.
after our grandmother, her mom.
So-
and then when she passed,
Yeah.
that's when my cousin Arvin and my auntie Amy continued the business because she already established that for quite a long time.
That's how you guys are connected.
Yes, and
Makes all sense now.
It's a family matter.
Because like I've seen Gabinas talk to them and all that
all
stuff.
over.
Yeah.
And then now Gabinas is, they're maintaining it. They
Yeah.
are all over San Diego. That's one of the reasons also why we were like, yeah, we're not going to tap in Filipino food because we have the family there.
Someone's already
But not
doing it.
only that, like I think his craft chef, Andy's craft, is really focused on Hawaiian fusion food. And so, when we started that in 2018, we were working in the same kitchen as Gabinas Cuisine. And
Okay.
so,
Oh, okay, same kitchen. Okay.
and so we were not rich, and we're not rich right now too. But what I'm saying is, like, nobody gave us like, here's a silver spoon,
Right.
here's X amount of thousands of dollars, start a business. No, everything is at stake.
Yeah.
And I think at that time, looking back,
Yeah.
when how bad do you really want something,
Yeah.
and how big is the stake, and then from that point, you'll make things work and you'll figure out a lot of things. And I think that was the mindset that we had also that time.
So you guys jumped from coming here, and so Chef Andy was already doing catering and stuff. Like the opportunity came for him to
Yeah,
do it
when-
for, you said, long living.
So when he was working there as an executive chef at the extended living facility,
Extended
and then
living
he left that. I think I missed
Is
that
extended
gap
living
there.
like the senior living? Is that also like senior living?
Yeah,
I mean,
they-
extended.
Yeah, they stayed. Yeah, they're basically when you retire
Right.
and you want to live the life. Somebody's serving you food.
Gotcha, okay,
He was the
gotcha.
executive
He was
chef
that
at that
one,
place.
huh?
One spot here in Rancho Bernardo.
Okay.
Really nice spot. But then he decided to leave that company and then start his own business.
Okay,
And that's when
okay.
Calais Kitchenette was born.
Oh. But it wasn't this yet.
Oh, this was not. Yeah, this
Yeah.
started in 2023.
Yeah.
We were back then. We were focused on doing farmers market as well. Again, just because of the influence of my mom, who was doing pop up, and then that's when we were testing the market. Not everything is going our way. It was really rough.
Sounds
you know?
like a business.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of ups and downs,
Right,
and
right.
a lot of mental toughness. And then that's also when you realize. So at that time, I was still working. So that's financially, which I think everybody needs to take account for.
Right.
It doesn't make sense financially because you need to survive.
Right.
So there was still steady money coming in while we were, quote unquote, test driving the business.
What year was this?
This was 2018, moving to
that long ago.
2019. Yes.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
he did farmers market for a while.
Wow, okay.
Realized that either the community was not ready for the Hawaiian fusion food,
Right.
or maybe it was just too soft for us because
Yeah.
there was money coming in, but it was not accelerating the way we want it to be.
Right.
That it's not going to
Yeah.
keep the family alive.
Not in other words, you couldn't quit your job yet in order to do this.
Oh yeah,
because it wasn't making enough money,
I didn't
right?
quit my job for 5 years
Right,
in the
right.
business.
Uh-huh.
And a couple of things there, because also financially, one, and then second I really love digital marketing agency. There's that passion over there.
Yeah.
And then so when he started that farmers market, we realized, and at the end of the day, you got to look at the numbers. It's not making sense. Now we had to pivot.
Okay.
And that's the beauty about the business. You keep on pivoting and adjusting.
Yeah.
We stopped the farmers market. We doubled down on catering.
Okay.
So we focused all of our efforts and everything, all of the strategies,
Yeah.
just to focus on catering.
Okay.
And that's when we thrive.
Okay. Real quick timeline. So how long did you guys do farmers markets before you decided
About
to
6
pivot?
months.
Oh, okay.
You think 6 months is short?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But how
If
many
it's-
farmers markets were you doing a week?
Ooh, we were doing at least 3 or 4.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a good
3
amount
to
right
4
there. A week.
A week, yeah.
Wow.
And we started in the worst time
Yeah.
of the year, which was around, when was it? May, June, and then because October, summer is pretty fast already.
Yeah.
But we're just starting. We're just getting our name out there.
Okay.
So it's almost like I'm not counting that summer. And then once October hit, oh my gosh, San Diego people is like, I'm cold. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna go
We're
out.
not. Yeah.
That was it.
Definitely,
That was it.
definitely.
But 6 months in, we had to pull the plug on farmers market.
Okay. And you were already doing caterings at that time still.
Somewhat
Okay.
doing catering, but we were not yet really getting our messaging out as a caterer.
Gotcha.
So there was a little mix. And that's when we said, let's focus on catering, let's hone into our menus, check our pricing, what are our services, let's figure out what we can and we cannot do.
Wow, okay.
Figure out the areas that we're going to be servicing on, because back then our kitchen was in Chula Vista. Does it make sense for us back then to get a job on Oceanside? Might not be a good idea. So small things like that are basically the things that we had to consider.
Bringing it back, Khara, so your mom was an entrepreneur, right? She did Gabina's Cuisine. You guys started pivoting. You did the farmers markets, then you pivoted to catering. Talking about numbers now.
Okay.
We talk about like with catering compared to the farmers markets. Like, what was the difference of profit percentages? I would say. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to share your exact numbers, but it's just more interesting because it's like you don't know how much something costs, right? If I'm listening to this podcast right now and I want to start a restaurant, but I don't want to get a brick and mortar right away. Farmers markets are kind of like you dipping into your toe in before you jump in.
Correct.
So kind of like that. Can you like share some of those things?
So what we learned from the farmers market is that time is money, first of all. That's why you have business. You wanted to run your own business because you don't want to give your time to somebody else and they're the ones going to be making money. So having that mindset that your time is equivalent to X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
When we were in the farmers market, we're spending, let's just say 8 hours. And then we will only make, let's just pretend, $200 in that 8 hours.
Is that including prep time and all that stuff? Like, because farmers markets usually are like what, 3-4 hours?
3-4 hours. It includes the setup, the breakdown, and then of course the prep, a little bit of prep here and there. And so 200, you'll take into account. That might even be a good day. But what if it was raining and San Diego people decides to not go out and like, no, I'm not going to do anything. They'll just go to the other farmers market vendor. Great. I love supporting other small businesses, but it doesn't make sense. So farmers market, you're waiting a long time for you to acquire 1 or 2 businesses. That's not even going to be sufficient because, again, I prepare all of these things. The problem with our stuff is it's perishable. I cannot sell that tomorrow, or if I have a farmer's market. But if I don't even have a farmer's market tomorrow, how can I make something of, like, let's say the rice that was that leftover rice? Maybe chef can make that as a fried rice the following day. But do we even have a farmer's market? So we don't. So then when we decided, let's go catering, again, that's when we said, let's focus on what we know is going to bring us money. Because in catering, not only his background was in banquets or catering, we knew that there was money there. Why? Because it's guaranteed business.
Right.
When you say guaranteed business, you put your effort in selling, creating your brand, making people, see you as the person in authority in your industry. And then so you're putting effort there, selling your service and your product. And then once you, let's say, convert and close that deal, let's just say a $2,000 catering job, you already have the money. Granted, you priced your stuff correctly, okay? Because you got to take into account product costs, labor costs. That time, our labor was very minimal because it was chef and just a helper that time. And then also just maybe some other overhead, like the electricity, the water, and all that stuff. So that $2,000, the profit is a lot larger because our overhead and raw material cost was pretty low. Give or take 30% to 40% of basically your profit margin. Depending on what they're getting, it can shoot up to 50% to even 70% on a good time. That was pre-inflation, by the way. Now inflation, oh my gosh, that's a different story.
I mean, but that's also just good in the beginning because you think about guaranteed versus not guaranteed, right?
And that's what we like the most. So it's a guaranteed business. And then so what we now do is, now we know we just have to deliver the service and be good at that. Nail it, and so that the people who was trying to eat and who tried the food, now that's also free advertisement for me. I can acquire them. So it's like a recycle. And that's why there is the referral, word of mouth. But it's not just word of mouth. They tried the product.
And they like it.
And if my friend trusted them, everything was nice and great. So it just and that's the part where I can say it takes some time to build the business. It takes some time to perfect our operation.
Love that.
Where can we tweak so that we are a little bit more efficient? What can we do to capture a little bit more or widen our reach? Because again, as I said earlier, let's focus on building the brand, create a strong messaging, and so that's where we also try to invest into making sure our marketing is on spot as well.
That's good. I mean, because I think a lot of people, when they start a business, they think that, hey, I'm going to get from here to here in 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? They have that expectation and they have that belief. And when they don't get there in 6 months, they're discouraged and they're just like, this isn't working, all of this stuff. But in reality, like you're saying, all you have to do is pivot and try to find a different way of making the money, right?
Correct.
Making up those, maybe there is a different avenue you can get into, like you guys said, catering to make more of the money. And then you kind of just go all in on one thing once you see just a little bit of it working, right?
Yep.
And you're just like, well, forget this because we're all of this extra stuff, but this is working. Let's jump in on this.
And so I'm going to tap into something that I recently learned. And so what happened back then on that story that I shared with you, we were solely focused on making money, making the business work, right?
Okay.
With that being said, we were pivoting. We gave it at least 6 months because we have to give some time. It's not because that it was a bad day yesterday, we're going to quit and do something else or shift, like maybe make another product. No, give it at least a few times. Once you're so focused on one item that you wanted to really achieve, then it really drives into a plan. Once you have the plan, you're also researching. You're being good at it because you don't want to do this because this is what happened. You keep on researching that you became a master. Now, plan really drives into actions. Now you're doing it. Okay, this didn't work. We've been doing this over and over again. It's not working, chef. And then from that action, it really, one of the biggest things that comes out of it is that these activities will show you if you had the skill or there was a lack of skill. If that makes sense. So, okay, hypothetically, this product is not working.
Right.
Let's improve it. And if it's still not working, maybe chef, this is a skill.
He's missing something.
No. 19 years, I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm just giving a bad example. 19 years of culinary experience, I'm pretty sure he's doing something right. But once you have the skill already, or if you don't have the skill, then that's when you try to work on it and perfect it.
Make it better.
And it just recycles and recycles. Because once you have that little formula, success is inevitable already.
Right.
I mean, what else is going to go? You know?
I mean, you have the experience, you have the skill set, and you just keep working to get it better. I mean, there's no way, unless you're practicing something completely wrong, you know, you're going to get better at it, right? For you and your business, how do you guys make things better? So I know, so chef has 19 years of culinary experience, but he's probably did a bunch of things to get to this point, right? So let's bring up a product. Like, let's say your garlic chicken was terrible, right? What goes into it for you guys to make it better? Like, what do you do?
Oh, there's a research and development that happens before we serve it in public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're one of our closest friends, you will try it first. And then you...
And then they give your opinion to somebody else? Okay.
Yeah, we definitely test it with some friends, and there definitely needs to be an inspiration.
Yeah.
And then we have the people close to us who's willing to give it a shot. Because me and him, we have the confidence in our food. But the thing is, there's also, there's a lot of honesty, there's a lot of transparency, but it's still different if you test it in few people's, at least. There's a little bit of subject there. And then once we introduce that here, we get feedback. Now, let's just say, for example, it's already an established, which garlic chicken is our established product already there. We are still open to feedback. There might be bad days in the kitchen, but we also don't want to make that as an excuse that, oh, I'm so sorry. No, we take feedback seriously because I believe that once that person allocates their time, their money, I give value to that. And that's how I see customer service also when they walk in here. So feedback is really great. We ask that actively from our customers, maybe while they're eating, while they're biting. I'm just kidding.
Hey, what do you think? What do you think?
That's like an awkward moment. I normally ask. It's like, I don't know.
I haven't even had a bite yet, but okay.
I make sure they have like 2-3 bites. So I'm just kidding. And then if something is not right, Then that's when we research.
Gotcha.
And there's a lot of things that happens because the vendors who supply the chicken, we don't have a farm of chickens and that we take care of, and then we're guaranteed you laid X amount of eggs for a loco moco, it's going to be fantastic.
Right.
There's a lot of that thing happen too. The suppliers that gives us those raw materials, if something is not right there, and then if the feedback is coming, we're like, okay, then we kind of figure out which one are we going to fix and adjust or address.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess going to the next topic, what I'm thinking about is like, so you think about your food, garlic chicken is, you said, one of your top items or one of their most popular ones,
Very
right?
popular,
What other items do people like boast about they love here? What are other things that you guys have?
Spam musubi,
Okay.
which I was really worried about.
Really?
Because I don't know. I know Rancho Peñasquitos has a lot of Filipinos, a lot of islanders.
Right.
But the people that I deal with, not everybody are Filipinos. So I was like, are there actually people who's gonna like and eat spam musubi? And I hear a lot of stores. I grew up with spam in the Philippines, so for me this is normal.
Spam is normal, yeah.
But I also heard a lot of people who's from the Midwest who's like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You're
Meat
eating
in a can?
spam? They're freaking out, grossed out.
Right.
And so before we introduced that, it's almost like an add-on. And then the feedback when we finally pulled the plug and it's like, okay, we're putting spam musubi there, we're gonna do it. People were like freaking out, very excited that you have spam musubi. This is crazy. And the spam, and which is really funny because the first spam musubi experience that I have was a little bit
traumatizing.
Upgraded.
Oh,
where
fancy, huh?
there's already teriyaki sauce, furikake,
Whoa.
because apparently there are some who just have spam, rice, and then nori.
Yes.
I didn't get to try that.
It was us peasants growing up. That's what we had. We didn't have anything else added to it.
No, chef gave me right away the deluxe spam musubi experience where there's teriyaki already. And so when people were coming and trying the spam musubi, they were like, this is good. And I'm like, of course it's gonna be good. It has teriyaki sauce. And then they're also explaining to me that their experience of spam musubi was just rice and then the spam and then the nori. I was like, no, we also have furikake there. And now recently also with an inspiration that we had from another business up in the North Bay who was also focused on spam musubi. He introduced daikon, or the Korean pickled radish, inside the spam musubi.
Yeah.
So we were testing it out here. We start serving that, and people were receptive. I think one part also, like people get excited of getting educated and cultured about the other food that's out there. Because again, Hawaiian fusion, Hawaii is a mixed bag of, again, you got the Filipino, the Korean, the Japanese, the Chinese. Everybody there. So the food is just so beautiful. And I think that's the product. So that's one of our popular item.
Oh, I like that because that's the first time I had a pickled radish. And I love pickled radishes.
Yeah,
like every
same.
time we get banchan, in barbecue, I ask for extra because that's what I love. When I had it in there, I was like, oh my goodness.
It's a surprise.
It worked so well. But it works so well, right?
Yes.
Like, you put it in there and like you said, it elevated the flavors a little bit because I'm used to spam, seaweed, rice, okay? That's it. You got furikake, all of the extra stuff. Like, no, that's not how I ate it.
Yeah.
But it's good because it makes something new. That's what I also love about San Diego. Everyone's trying new things because we're a melting pot, same as Hawaii, right?
Correct.
A melting pot of so many different cultures, and everyone's like trying to like infuse different things. So that's why I'm glad you guys are doing that here, especially with Hawaiian fusion, right?
Yeah.
No one else is doing the same things. You got your classics, right? The classic Hawaiian spots here, but no one's doing Hawaiian fusion.
It's very different, and funny enough. So I'm also a mom of very young kids, and so the tendency in our mom world, people are like, oh, it needs to be organic, healthy. It's like your child is still very young. So I was hesitant too. I'm like, oh, are the moms gonna give this to their kids? Oh my gosh, the moms, that's all they feed their kids sometimes.
Really?
Like, I'm gonna eat my good meal.
Right.
Here's spam musubi.
It's a good.
And they're eating. The kids are just mopping it, and I was like, all right. I thought it's not just my kids eating it.
We loved it growing up. We still love it to this day, right? When I see it, it's very nostalgic. It's very like, if you need a quick snack, you break out the can, pour it, fry it up, you're good to go.
Yeah,
right?
You gotta fry it. I think that's a mistake of other people.
Would eat it without it? Without frying it?
Yes, I was told, and it's nasty, man.
I would never eat that not fried.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Oh my goodness.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It's like, it's preposterous right there.
It's
blasphemy.
a mistake.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Why would you? It's funny you said Midwest people because one of my friends, same thing. He's from North Dakota, North or South Dakota, whatever. But when I brought it up, same reaction. You're eating meat from a can? What are you guys doing?
Ew,
I'm like,
that's
are you?
gross.
Dude, have you tried it? But
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
probably one who just like chopped it up and took a bite. Like,
Yeah, that's why. It's
yeah.
like, that's really
That's
nasty.
not good. That's not a good setup, man. Oh, well, you wanted to bring up a topic that you focus on, that you heard in a podcast earlier.
Yes.
Singular focus? Is that what
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah,
called?
which I
Okay.
kind of tapped into earlier.
Yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
think looking back into our experience, the history, now we're going to our first year anniversary
Yeah.
next month,
Oh,
May,
nice. What
of
day?
having the brick and mortar. We
Okay.
opened 2023 in May 2nd.
Wait a second, okay.
And so, but we're gonna have our first year anniversary party in somewhere in June. We're
Okay.
starting to plan that. But looking back, I before we found this store, we were just so focused on finding the store, the brick and mortar that we love, that we have specific criteria. So that time, by the way, we were looking for a year. This was
Oh, wow.
almost leaving COVID.
Yeah.
And you probably heard a lot of story that during COVID time, there were a lot of restaurants that shut down.
Right,
so there
right.
should be a lot of restaurants. No. There was very limited
Wow.
restaurants who
Why is
shut
that,
down. There were investors that came in who has other plans.
Yeah, okay.
Because really, during COVID, not everybody plummeted down. There were still a lot of people who were sitting on piles, buttloads of cash, right? And so at that time, for 1 year, we were focused on looking for a second generation kitchen. We knew that we don't want a build out because not only that it's going to take a lot of money, it's going to take a lot of time. And when we say time, the approval process is not in our hands because it's the city who's going to be approving
Yes.
those designs and all that's permitting. So we're like, at least if it's a second generation kitchen,
What do you mean by that? Like already built out?
it was already a kitchen.
Okay,
They were
okay.
already selling hot food.
Gotcha.
Not I guess what I call it, it's a coffee shop that they don't serve hot food.
You have
It
to
needs
get a hood
have-
and all of that stuff.
Correct.
Yeah,
There needs
yeah.
to be a hood because that goes through the roof.
Right, right.
And so at that time we were telling a lot of our friends whatever's in our mind is just finding that kitchen. The concept also, it needs to be small because we just want it grab and go.
Right.
So we were telling our friends, we were attracting, and this might sound woo-woo, but whenever you have that, the universe kind of conspires
Right,
into your
right.
favor,
Yeah.
and it just comes.
Right.
And funny
Put
enough,
that energy out, it comes back. Yep.
this spot right here was a blessing in disguise. So the old owner of this shop, because we were patrons, this was a bakery before for 20
Oh,
years.
Wow.
We were patrons of this bakery, but
Yeah.
during COVID, of course, we were also limiting our expense and
Right.
going out, so we were not going here as much. And so at that time, we were told that when we met the owner, fast forward, they were looking for Andy because they wanted a chef to take over
Oh,
the
that's so
business. It was
cool.
really crazy.
Yeah.
But we were like, yeah, we don't want to take the bakery because we had a business already. We had plans, da 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 da. Oh, okay, but just want to let you know that we were actually looking for you.
Wow.
Because we were
For you
always
guys specifically?
for chef, yeah. Because we
Whoa.
always come here. We always get the pandesal with the spam again,
Oh.
spam again.
Topic of the video. Spam.
yeah. So we were we were telling when we were catching up.
Yeah.
But before we found this place, as I told you, the universe was just conspiring.
Yeah.
We're telling our friends here and there. So my good friend and our neighbor here messaged me, and actually no, she called me. She doesn't normally call me at 6:30 because she knows that
In the morning?
At night.
Oh, I was like, geez.
She knows that
I mean,
it's
I know
a
you wake
crunch
up to work out, but
time.
still.
Yeah, that's too early. She called me and said like, "Hey, our neighbor is put a sign already. They're closing the shop effective today."
Wow.
And we're like, "Really? Okay." We knew already what the space was. We thought it was too small, but we're like, "Let's check it out." And that was it. When chef walked in here, he saw the possibilities right away.
Was this like this already?
It was not like this before. It took 3 months to renovate this spot.
Okay.
Because our vision back then was that if this bakery was here for 20 years, we don't want to train the customer saying, oh, this was the so-and-so business before. Gotcha. We want them to walk in and know right away that this is Calais Kitchenette. Not necessarily talking bad about the other business, but because we wanted to set that brand right away. And 3 months was really fast. Luckily, there was no issues with permitting and just other surprises. It was our general contractor was amazing. The people that we worked with during that renovation was also just professionals who know what they're doing.
Right.
And then really, we also eliminated a not to do list or the list of things that would set us up to fail.
Okay.
Meaning we're not going to even entertain restaurants or kitchens that are bigger than what we needed.
Okay.
Even though it's cheaper, we're focused on a specific location. We're not going to entertain that. We're also going to perfect our, I guess, researching and negotiating skills.
Okay.
Because you gotta, this is like thousands of dollars you're dealing with, but you don't do that every day.
Yeah.
So you need to read up on the terminologies when signing a lease. You need to at least understand what's going on in the contract.
Oh, I hate that.
And so just small things like that. So we were focused on that, remove all of the other noises, which is sometimes so hard to take out because you as an entrepreneur, you get distracted with the next shiny object.
Shiny object syndrome, that's what I was going to get at. You see something, you're like, ooh, this might work,
I know,
but this
it's
might
like
work.
full on ADHD, like, oh, this is nice. And so I think...
But that also brings it back to your singular focus you're talking about, right?
Exactly.
Taking it back to that,
Yeah, and again, now there's no... Failure is not going to be an option.
Right.
Because you put it in. And although before, when we first started, because he was somewhat worried that it might not work. And I said, first, and this was pre-COVID, okay? We were like, honestly, what's going to happen?
Right.
If we fail, then we go back.
Get a job.
We're physically able, we have the mind, we have the experience.
Right.
Look for a job, or worst comes to worst, and this might sound bad, hey, that's why the government is here too. Not that I'm planning to be unemployed and collect stuff, but I said...
Worst comes to worst, right?
Being an immigrant, I think you see the joy, the opportunities here.
Right.
You don't you have to take full advantage of the resources that you have here. And I think that's also our mentality. He works really, really hard. He's very passionate about what he does, and moving here when I was 23 years old, I saw, wow, if you just work hard, be resilient, and persevere, you'll get to where you're going for. And
you'll get there.
You'll get there one form or way, maybe lost a limb or something.
No, I honestly, I love that because there was someone who messaged me, sent me a DM on Instagram, and he was like, oh, did you used to work at this company like 7 years ago? And I was like, yeah, I did. He goes, oh, I remember you. I remember you saying you're doing exactly what you're doing, and I thought you were crazy because you were leaving for exactly what you're doing now.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, it's been good. He goes, dude, this is so awesome. He said, I thought you were crazy for leaving this job to pursue this. Oh. And I was just like, I didn't think I was crazy. Right, same thing for you, building this out. Where you're just like, I didn't think I was crazy. I just wanted to do something, so I did it.
But you know what's funny? And I know he doesn't mean any harm. But there are some people who wait for you to fail. Right. And sometimes, it's like
they'll be back, right?
Yeah, they're gonna fail. Or I'll use that as a somewhat of motivation. I'm like, see?
Yeah.
But, again, at the end of the day, I do this for our own reasons.
Right.
I do this for our family, me and Chef.
And you love it too.
We enjoy talking to customers. We have more goals and more vision for Calais Kitchenette.
Yeah.
I still have another daughter who...
Honestly, I was like, how come it's Calais Kitchenette and not both of their names though?
Who's learning how to read already.
And you said she's just like Chef Andy, you said?
Oh my gosh. She's like, where's Calais Kitchenette? And I'm like, honey, it's not easy to open a business, period.
Yeah.
And so there's
So you're saying there's going to be plans for that?
There's definitely growth plans. And again, this is our first year. We've learned a lot from our first year before. And so we're taking that into account.
Okay.
We're working with good teams who helps us look into our books, into our numbers.
Oh, that's good.
We do have also legal team who needs to make sure that we are in standards or complying stuff.
Yeah.
Again, first of all, we're in California.
Right.
And then we
Things
have the
change all the time.
creatives. You
Yeah.
know, I think sometimes you just really need to work. The things that you're not good at, give that to somebody who's good at.
Right.
Or if you know that you are worth more than that task, give that to somebody else.
Right.
Delegate that,
Right,
because
right.
not to brag, but you as a business owner needs to be the least important person in the business, if that makes sense, because the business should be running even if you
not
are
doing your
not
thing.
there.
Yep.
And we're still working on that, but it's a great idea to have.
I mean, it's also an
makes
ongoing
sense.
thing, right? Like you have to, because if you want to grow Calais Kitchenette,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to leave this to do that, right? And you can't leave one if this isn't gonna run smoothly. So
Exactly,
that makes sense. Yeah.
exactly. But we're very excited. You know,
That's
the
awesome.
community has been very supportive. I say that a lot of times, but I think because we also live in this area, that's
Yeah.
why the community just knows. I mean, we go to church with our customers, so they see
that's
us. I'm
cool.
like, sorry, my girls are kind of loud. They see us. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they see the person running the business as a real person that they can relate to. We go to the jiu-jitsu a couple of doors down,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
the people there also dined
Come
in
here.
here, and
Yep,
like,
yeah.
they're real people. Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
corporate.
Supporting everyone. Everyone's supporting each other. I love that. I love that.
Exactly.
That's
Which
awesome.
you also mentioned. I know before before we started, we had our vendor also dropping off some of the banana bread
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then the mochi,
Yeah.
and that's also one of our way to give back. You know,
Right.
we don't make money out of this desserts, amazing desserts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes when we have sweet cravings, you know, that's when they're like, oh man, I'm actually losing money, but this thing is so good.
I'm eating it myself.
Yeah, I'm like totally not making money, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay. It's so worth it. And we wanted to make sure that we also carry on the other vendors who carry desserts
Yeah.
and put it here in the shop, because we want their patrons to know, hey, if they want banana bread or mochi or lean candy or coffee, they could just easily grab
Right,
it here
right,
because they
right.
don't have a brick and mortar yet.
Gotcha. And I love that, because we're all here to support each other, right?
Exactly.
Like business, especially community. That's why I love you bringing up community, because we all try to help each other out. Because if you have a good product too,
Yeah.
you got to keep it in business, you know?
Yeah,
And you do it
exactly.
by supporting, coming out and supporting it, you know? And that's all you can really
Exactly.
do.
Yep.
So before we end today's podcast, Khara, is there anything else you'd want the audience to know about your restaurant, about you, about anything?
I think for Calais Kitchenette, you know, I've expressed how thankful we are.
Yeah.
But we are here for the long run. And so, you know, come by, stop by, and say hi. You know, if you wanted to support us by purchasing products here, that's amazing. Or even just say hello to our staff and, you know, tell us that we're doing it right. Or if we're not doing something right or according to what you expect it to be, let us know. There's a lot of challenges that goes behind running a business, but we're here for the long run, and we are definitely wanting to invite you for our upcoming first year anniversary in June. We'll have more information on that on our social
along,
media.
okay.
But we're going to be throwing a party. There's going to be a lot of
Nice.
giveaways, entertainment, maybe a
Fun.
hula dancers,
Ooh.
Maybe some ukulele, maybe
Right,
paint,
right.
maybe face paint.
Fire dancers too, right? We need that.
No fire.
Ah,
We're
man.
keeping that
Yeah.
back in the studio. But more information there for first year
Okay.
anniversary. And we're not going to be here because of you guys. So mahalo.
Thank you. And address.
Address. So we are located in 9926 Suite F, Carmel Mountain Road, San Diego, California, 92129. So we're in the heart of Rancho Penasquitos. We are open Tuesday till Saturday from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. Our parking is obviously free, but sometimes it gets really tight. So we encourage you guys to pre-order online so that we can have your food ready to go, and we have our online parking spot available for you guys as well.
Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. High five.
Woo, now you can eat your breakfast.
I know I can do
Your
something.
musubi.
I know. I'm cracked on caffeine right now, so.